you all find me? Oh, shit. Do I not have my glasses up here? Damn it. Joey. Can you get my glasses, please? Next to my chair. I'm live. Of course. I fucking forgot them. Hi. I'm here. I'm here. Sorry to be late. There's, about 8 million things that happen right before. Hold on. Let me get myself up here. Okay, hopefully. Hi, guys. Okay, who do we have? Pepper and Keith and Moonfeather and Dustin, Michelle. Hi. Glad you guys could come. Hopefully my son is getting my glasses. Thank you. Just, right before I go live, like 8 million things happen. Thank you. I appreciate it. Such as my aunt's dog pisses and shits all over everything.
Steps on it barefoot.
You stepped in it barefoot?
Barefoot.
She needs to keep her door.
I'm seeing.
Okay. We're going to take a minute to breathe. And try to pretend that everything is fine. Okay. Let's see. Now that I can hopefully see. Hi. My aunt's dog shit all over the place right before I went live. Literally. Love it. Okay, let's see. How we doing? Michelle. Angela's here. Hi. Johnny made it. Nicole. And Michelle. And Tina and Pepper and Dustin. Yay. Okay. Hi. Seriously. If you ever just had a day that you're like, really? Because I've had enough this day. Just listening to my aunt. Yay. Okay. So, hi, Jessica. Glad you're here. Wait, let me take one drink. My books went out today. I know it will be. Thank you, Keith. I so appreciate it. These are the days, though, that, I'm kind of glad I was coming on, because these would be the days that normally I would just go crazy. But I'm not. Prison color orange is no one's colors. Exactly. Whew. Okay. Are we doing a trade, Michelle? Are you talking to me? Are we doing a trade and I'm not remembering? Because suddenly I'm like, oh shit. What the heck is that about? I can't remember. My brain is a little scatterbrained tonight. Hi, Ashley. Glad everyone is here. Now, did everyone remember to bring a tarot deck if you have one? And a couple people have said they don't have one, and that's okay. Hi, little dandelion. Glad you could make it. If you do not have one, you can do one of two things. You can I posted the spread onto the Facebook group. And is it okay?
What?
Everything down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
I smell it up here.
I had to take out the trash because for some reason she thinks tying it up stops the smell.
Okay. Feeling really good tonight. Yay! Oh, good. Good. Okay. So Michelle, if I'm doing a trade with you or something, make sure you let me know, because sometimes, without my meaning to, my brain just loses things on accident. Okay, so I did post the spread on the Facebook group right before I went live, so that you can follow along there. There are lots of tarot apps for your phone, for your computer, that you can pull up and oh, it was a gift. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I'm so glad that I didn't forget something. So glad. And I do very much appreciate it, I promise you. And I'm sure I will remember it once I look at your messages and, you know, my brain is not fried from dog poop all over my stuff downstairs that I don't even want to go down and look at. Extra bucks. Oh, yes. That does sound very familiar. Now that you say that. Yes. Thank you. Perfect. That's awesome. And I'm so excited. Thank you. There is an app for everything. Absolutely. So you can either find an app tonight as we're talking, or you can, life's rough sometimes. Rough. I got that, Dustin. Really? It's going to start already? Sorry, guys. Or you can follow along and just kind of pay attention and kind of soak in how we're doing it, and then look at the pictures of the spread on the Facebook group and do your own. I would love it if you guys want to like do a VR and post it either onto YouTube or onto the Facebook group of yours. You do not have to. You don't have to share your spread at all. Would it work with playing cards? Yes. If you are used to working with playing cards, absolutely. It would work with oracle cards. It would work with playing cards. I used to read playing cards more. It's been a really long time, so I kind of have to really, it's going to be one of those nights tonight, apparently, where my internet goes out 12 times. Yay! Whew, I know, I'm trying to breathe in between. It's just, and then twice, we've been on for 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and already I've had to restart this twice. Okay. You do not have to post your spread. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see, if you don't mind and you are, open to posting your spread, I would love to see you post your own spreads. Hi, Jack. Nice to see you in here. Dustin, what do I smell? Dustin? Dustin, I'm calling him Dustin. Dustin, I'm calling him Dustin because you're Dustin. He's Joey. I'm really, okay. Okay, I'm good. I smell some wacky weed, I think. Anyways, here we go. That's a good idea. Because I already kind of smell something that smells like sage anyways, so we might as well light it up. Yes. Okay. Restart after 10 minutes. I'm really sorry, you guys. Holy cow, 10 minutes of nothing. I really apologize. Whew. That's better. Thank you for the suggestion. Love it. Have it here all the time. Absolutely. That's good. Okay. I did want to say I don't see Kay has been on here at all, but we have had I did light a couple candles. The candle on that side was anointed last night and lit last night, and then the candle on this side I just anointed tonight and lit tonight. And I have healing stones and Reiki stones and stuff for her son and daughter-in-law there. So if any of you want to add your energy to it, feel free. That's going to be up for at least a couple days. And it's specifically for Kay's son and daughter-in-law. So please feel free to add your energies to that healing altar there, okay? And we will, yay, let's take a look at our spread for tonight. Finally. All right, Tree of Life. So this is a really great, yay, thank you. This is a really great spread for doing shadow work. It is a big spread. That's why I figured I'd do this spread. Hi, Sue. Tonight and kind of put it out there. And that's the big topic of the night is that this shadow work spread. I have brought out, hi, Midnight. Glad to have everybody here. Good, good, good. I figured I'd have, I have a tarot deck and an oracle deck out. I am, just so you know what I'm using my, one of my favorite decks anyways. This is kind of my go-to work deck. This is the Samhain deck of the Bastards, which I love, 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 love this deck. Hi, Debbie. A chemical seal. Wow, we've got lots of people tonight. Good, good, good. And I am supplementing the oracle is the Oracle of the Echoes. Anna Turian, who is also doing the Bonestone and Earth Flash deck. If you guys are following this. So this is my deck of the Bastards. Samhain deck of the Bastards, which I just adore this deck. And so this is kind of my workhorse deck. Yes, it is complicated and it is quite a spread. So I figured we'd just spend all our time on that spread specifically and talk about it and spell check. Yay. All right. So we are going to start. So number one, which is, it kind of starts right in the middle here at number one. This is the Tree of Life spread. It's specifically dealt for shadow work. I have my Samhain deck of the Bastards is the deck that I'm using. And I'm supplementing in case I need any questions answered off of that with the Oracle of the Echoes, which I love this Oracle too. It's a great deck to kind of supplement things. I really like it. So here we go. So the first question is about childhood. What facet of my childhood have I overlooked or otherwise need to reevaluate? So good, good, good. So my childhood, the facet of my childhood that I overlooked or otherwise need to reevaluate is the Ten of Wands. I had a burdensome childhood in some way or another. Now, I'll be honest with you, the childhood questions are always hard for me because somewhere in my childhood, I had some kind of traumatic experience that I have blocked out a whole bunch of my childhood. I can, if people talk to me about it, I can kind of bring up some memories from childhood, I think, although you never know if it's, I'm kind of remembering something that somebody is saying, but I don't know if that's how it actually happened or not. I'm sure it has something to do with my father was arrested when I was, hi Molly, glad to have you here. 24 cards. That's almost all of my oracle cards. I have 26. I might just use the tarot app later on with this. Yep, that's true. I can see that, little dandelion, for sure. I can remember my childhood vaguely, lots of bullying. So, and I'm not the only one that has that. I know, I'm trying to think. I don't even remember exactly how old I was when my father was arrested, but that's my guess. And going backwards and trying to kind of piece together when my memory stops, it's really when I found out that my dad was in jail and had been arrested. And apparently there was a big, like a big, huge trial that lasted for like 10 years. And I don't remember a whole lot of that in between. I remember the day that he got arrested, and then I don't remember a whole lot. He got arrested for selling cocaine. Actually, one of his friends set him up. And he was an old hippie, and he didn't really do cocaine. He just sold it, but that's the way it was. And back then it was a huge, huge deal. And there was, he could have had a life sentence for that. So I'm sure that was, some big to do at the time. Blanking out about one's childhood is pretty common. Yep, when there have been trauma experiences. It's funny to me. Now I'm like, really? That was the big trauma? But I have never been able to piece together anything else. So I'm sure at the time in my head, and my guess is like my mother was all worried about it because it could have been a life sentence. And now it seems funny, like, oh my gosh, really? Because we've gotten better anyway about criminalizing drug use and stuff like that. But at the time, and apparently I even went to court a couple times. My father told me later, and I was like, really? I did? No idea. Anyway, so a burdensome childhood. Maybe that's what it's talking about, though, is the burden of dealing with that trauma. And obviously it's somewhere in my shadow because I don't remember a whole lot of my childhood. So that makes sense for me that, I might need to kind of delve into that more and evaluate a little more. It's hard to evaluate when you don't remember a whole lot. My dad's fine. He will talk to me about it and stuff. But I think maybe because now it's not such a big deal, it's hard for me to really figure out how to evaluate that. Although I will say too, now I love my father, but again, it has been a relationship that took me a long time to figure out exactly how that was going to happen. My love for my father, because my dad, as great as he is, and he's very loving and he's very giving, but he's always been a child. He's an old hippie. He has always hung out with very young people. He is a child. So it took me a long time to just accept my dad for who he was and not expect him to be the typical dad person. And I had that in my life. It just was my grandfather. So I just had to kind of transfer that and accept my father for who he was. He's my dad, but he wasn't really a father figure. That was my grandpa. And that's okay with me too. Suppressed memories can happen for protection. It's hard to reconstruct memories because of the misinformation effect. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like he'll tell me stuff, but I don't really know how I remember it. Suggestibility can bring froggy results. Absolutely. I do not do tarot cards reading. That's okay, Johnny. You can listen and follow along and get something out of this too. It would probably be an interesting story to sit down and hear him tell. Absolutely. Misattribution effect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, I've talked to him about it a couple times, and he's pretty open about stuff. And so I've never had a problem talking with him about it. It's just, I never know, to be completely honest, if he's lying about stuff or if he's, embellishing some stuff, because he kind of does that. He is like a child, and so he puffs himself up sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, no way, that did not happen like that. So which makes it harder, because then I'm like, okay, should I be remembering that or something a little different? My mother's the opposite because they got divorced. Whole big thing. It'll come to you when your brain tells itself you can handle it, which doesn't mean you can, but that's how it goes. Yep. That's okay, Johnny. You don't have to do a tarot card reading. You can just follow along, honey. Okay, so that's the childhood card. We're done with that one. Number 2 is down here in the roots, okay? And the number 2 card is your home life. What aspect of my home life might I benefit from taking into consideration? So, in the roots, the 7 of Swords. Okay, so what aspect of my home life? You know, there could be I think as the thrifty witch, I think that I'm always kind of I feel like this guy sometimes, like I'm taking stuff for maybe less than it's worth, and I'm kind of being resourceful about how I go about obtaining things, and but I may need to relook at that a little bit, as far as either one way or the other. Either I could do more of that and kind of expand it out a little bit, which I kind of think of like maybe doing, I've thought about before doing trades, like with all kinds of things pagan, not just tarot decks, but, you know, like altar tools and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm ready to take on that responsibility to like run a group that would do that, but I often thought that would be a good idea, you know, when you have an altar tool that is ready to move on or something like that. And you too. And, you know, could you maybe trade it with someone else for something that you do need? So I always thought that would be something to look into. So perhaps that's an avenue that I can look into to kind of expand stuff that I haven't looked at before. Okay, number 3 is still, we're down in the root system still. Number 3 is mother. What element of the mother archetype might I benefit from considering? So it's not necessarily your mother. I don't know any rich witches. Yeah, me neither. Unfortunately. Although I do have my prosperity altars working for me down there, and I have tickets for tonight's drawing. I always tell, you know, my husband is like, oh, it'd be really nice. And yeah, I know. It would be really nice. But, you know, the universe isn't going to let that happen because we're too happy without it. Or we're too good at people, or I don't know. I feel like, yeah, that just ain't happening. But you never know. It could happen. Okay. What element of the mother archetype might I benefit from considering? The Empress. Well, that is pretty clear cut. It's, you know, I have to say it's been funny. For me, the shadow work part of that is I kind of have to figure out, and part of that is this channel. But I have to figure out, since my boys, most of my boys moved out, there's a part of me that had to really look at where that nurturing motherhood type thing comes into play, because my oldest son, the roots are family oriented. Absolutely. Yes. My eldest son doesn't need as much mothering as I would like. So, you know, that aspect of me kind of doesn't know where to go with stuff sometimes. And, you know, my husband, that hasn't been my role with my husband, is to be his mother. That's never been my role. So there's kind of a void there that I'm like, and I think partly that's why this channel came into being, is because there was more time and more mothering, more nurturing to give, and the audience wasn't there anymore. That empty nest. Yep. So it took me kind of a while, and I still have some work to do too. Like, okay, what else can I do with this? As a mother of 4 boys, automatically I have this instinct to do that. And now without them home, it's kind of not quite sure what to do with it all. So it has been a shadow work kind of transition to figure out what's missing in that and what I can do with that. So that is definitely something I can consider more. I'm so happy I can finally catch a live. Yay, me too, Laura. I love your shadow work series, and I'm following along with my own deck tonight. Yay! Good, good, good. All right, so number 4. Still down in the root system here. And this is father. What element of the father archetype might I benefit from considering? And this should be an interesting one because I honestly, well, no, that's not true. I do have some of what people consider masculine traits. I do have in that, this is going to sound bad, but especially for an empath, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am able to shut my emotion off sometimes when dealing with situations that most people maybe not. So, but I'm okay with that. So what other aspect of that father archetype is there for me to look at? So I have the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands talks about, knowing that you're going through that battle. You have some of those battle scars. You have been beaten up some, and, it hasn't been an easy road, but you know that you're okay. You know that you're able to continue. You know that you're able to keep walking forward, even though it has been a rocky road. But you have to have that that oomph behind you to say, you know what? It's been hard. It hasn't been easy, but I am going to keep going. I know I'm right. I know I'm walking on the right path. I sometimes need to stick up for myself a little bit more, even bandaged up as I am, and be able to move forward in confidence, which that is, I hate to say that's a male trait, but it is in our universe, in our society, that is more of a male trait, to have that confidence of moving forward, even if you feel beaten up. So that is definitely an element of the father that I probably could use a little bit more of. All right. Good, good, good. I'm liking this. Number 5, siblings, which is really funny. I got a phone call from my brother is coming tomorrow and is staying for 2 days. He lives in North Carolina usually, and now my niece is here, so he's actually coming up here to see his daughter. And he's going to be staying with me for 2 days, so... Yes, I know. I do too, Nicole. Absolutely. And it's funny. Like I said, it's this society names this as a masculine trait, and society names this as a feminine trait. And it's, really neither here nor there. But that masculine trait has always been in society's eyes, that stepping forward, more confident, more extrovert. And the female trait is always more introvert and nurturing and loving and that kind of thing. So not necessarily exactly the way I think of things, but, it is what society says, right? Okay, so number 5, we're still down here in the roots, and we're talking about siblings. What element of my childhood companionship might I benefit from exploring? And I will be curious to see if this actually talks anything about my brother and I's relationship. I only have one brother. And him and I are, we certainly love each other, but we're not very close. He is more opposite of me than anyone I know. I love my brother dearly. And we're okay. We don't talk a whole lot, but we do. We have the same sense of humor. That's about it. He is a Republican. Owns, I don't know how many AR-15s, gun-toting.
More libertarian.
He's more libertarian. Sorry, you're right. Hi, Artsy. Glad you could be here. He's just very different. So we don't have a whole lot in common. And I talk to him, I don't know, maybe once or twice a month, usually by text. Hey, how you doing? How's Dad? Because my father lives with him now. He lived with me for like 10 years, and then when we moved it back up to New York, he stayed there with my brother. So we do talk about that once in a while. All right, a jumper card. I'm talking too much. Hi, Chris. Glad you could be here. All right. This is about the element of my child's companionship that I need to explore. This is the Four of Wands. So some kind of celebration, some kind of, homecoming. Well, homecoming. That's funny. I wonder if my brother and I are going to talk about things that we didn't or don't normally talk about, which could happen since he'll be sleeping here on this couch over here. There's all kinds of stuff here for us to talk about. If I usually don't. I don't talk to him. I don't even know if he knows that I'm a witch. And I'm, like I said, I'm out. He must. I think he does because he talks to his daughter a lot and his daughter knows. In psychology, men externalize and women internalize. Take anger, for example. Men take out their anger on objects, whereas women take it inward and internalize. It's not uncommon to have both. Yes. Absolutely. For sure. So like I said, maybe that piece of my shadow work is something that I'm going to have to do with my brother, which it's quite funny that he's going to be here. And I haven't seen my brother in, I bet you, a year and a half. When he came up, yeah, I think it's been a year and a half since I've seen him. So, and we're so different that we don't end up talking a whole lot unless it's about my dad. He'll call me and say, oh my gosh, Dad, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, talk about synchronicity. I know it is one of those things that the universe goes, here, have this. So that's good. All right. Number 6. We're still down on the roots here. Upbringing. What aspect of my upbringing might I benefit from taking into consideration? Now, I will tell you too, with, hi Kendra, glad you could be here. We are doing our, another falling card. Whoops. In fact, 2 fell. See, now I don't know which one fell and which one fell before because I think there was one down there. So I'm just going to shuffle again. We are doing our Tree of Life Tarot spread, which I did post in the Facebook group if you want to follow along. We are on number 6, which is upbringing. What aspect of my upbringing would I benefit from exploring some more? So you've raised your father, taken care of your aunt, worked in the healthcare system, and you took back your power, and that's not masculine. All right, Tina, I get your point. That's true. I got that. Yeah. That's true. I have raised my dad. Took care of him for a long time. Warrior woman. Yep. And I can't tell you how much I use that term. I very often, that is a big compliment from me. And I will tell people very often, you are a warrior. So to me, that's a big deal. So thank you. Okay. Upbringing. Page of Swords. Wow. How many swords are coming up? 1. I guess not. We have 2. Nope, we have 3 wands, 2 swords, and a major. So we are looking at the Page of Swords, which again, here's the thinking suit. The page is a little bit impulsive. He's ready for anything though. He's right out there and ready to get into it. Get into whatever it is that, the whole thing is about. So we're in the aspect of shadow work. What we are talking about here is nothing because it froze again. Am I that far behind? Are you guys there? I think my feed is way far behind. It seems like it's way far behind. Live. Oh, yeah, it was. Look at that. Okay, we're there. Okay. It's okay, little dandelion. No problem. Okay. So I know it. It's terrible. I have a paid reading to do tomorrow, and my internet sucks, so I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I feel terrible. Anyway, I have not, Artsy. I know I was saying that. I was really hoping to hear from her because I have a healing altar, which, by the way, let me just say again for those who have come in. Kay's son and daughter-in-law were in a traumatic event, and they are very hurt and in the hospital. And so we have, I created a healing altar behind us here. Both of those candles have been lit and will be lit for at least 2 days. And there are healing stones, Reiki stones, oils, herbs. There's all kinds of stuff up there for healing. So if you want to add your healing intentions to that, feel free, because she will, feel that energy. Okay. Page of Swords. Okay. So the Page of Swords is ready for anything. It's ready to, get going with this shadow work. Let's go. Keep it up. Let's dive right in. Sometimes a little bit too impulsively. So with the intention of upbringing, I can see in my upbringing where I tended to be very impulsive, where I tended to think less about what I was doing and just dive head first in to whatever it was. Partly, I think, because I was raised by hippies who, I shouldn't say, again, my mother sees things so differently. It cracks me up when we talk about my upbringing. She's like, no, that's not true. Well, my mother was either working or sleeping. We didn't see my mother a whole lot when I was real young. And my father was a hippie who was all, peace and love and not a lot of rules. So I kind of did what I wanted to. I mean, I remember having boyfriends spend the night at 16. And I think now, are you kidding me? I would, So I can see that impulsiveness that was just, I don't know if I was testing boundaries or if I just decided to do what I want. I also, though, got told to find where I was going to live at 16, late 16, almost 17, I think I was. Because my mother was moving out. And so I can see, permissive parenting style, meaning they were more friends than parents. Absolutely. So, I really just kind of did what I wanted. And that meant that I did not have boundaries. I remember my aunt, who I'm living with now, had a mini limo. She had a mini limousine. And at 16, she went to Hawaii and left me her car, saying, that it was cool and I could drive her car to school every day. And the first day, picked up 3 of my friends and we ran away for 4 days. It wasn't, I don't know, I didn't see that as a big deal. I would kill my children. I would kill my boys, but it was not, now I got kicked out of the house. This was after my parents' divorce. My mother was throwing my things out of my bedroom window when I did finally come home. But I just went and moved in with my dad, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, exactly, Dustin. As a matter of fact, I took my 2 best girlfriends and my boyfriend, and everyone else's parents was not hippies. So everyone else's parents kind of went crazy, and they wanted to charge my boyfriend with statutory rape on all 3 of us and all kinds of stuff. It was like, what are you kidding me? Crazy. Hi, I'm a new follower, but I have watched all the other videos. Hi, I'm so glad you're here, Marat. Welcome. Rebel, yeah, I kind of was. I couldn't breathe growing up. My parents were horribly controlling. Kendra, I have to say, I don't know which is worse, though. I mean, I know you probably think yours was worse, but now, looking back on it, I think, God, I was like screaming for boundaries, and I didn't get any. So, what does that tell you? It kind of goes along with, did my parents give a shit? Did they? Hence, I got purposely pregnant at 18. Well, there you go. I got married at 18. I had my first child at 19. And then, had the next one 15 months later. And we ended up with 4 boys. Now, thank goodness that along the way, my husband and I figured it out together. 26 years later, here we are. But I started everything really young, too. I didn't have... I never had that, college experience or the without parents at all. Well, that's not true because I did kind of when I was growing up. But I didn't have like a job and money and stuff. So I was kind of broke and on my own. But ta-da! LOL. I also have 4 and married the same man twice. Lots of similarities. Hey! Married the same man twice. Woohoo! Hopefully it worked out better for you the second time too. Permissive parents. The result is children not feeling like they have roots. It's normal for that kind of parenting style. Dustin, I went to Holden Beach, North Carolina. Somebody gave me stones, made me a cane with a squirrel, tall, and rabbit and feathers on it, and gave me arrowheads. Both are equally bad. Yeah, that's true. It takes a balance that is almost impossible to find. That's true, for sure. And it's funny, as my husband and I, because of the way I was raised, you would think that I would be more strict. And I was more strict than my parents, but I was still the more lenient of the 2 parents. Now, my husband's parents were way more strict. So that's the one thing that we fought about through our children's upbringing is he was always trying to be more strict and I was always trying to be more lenient. I wanted them to learn, to make mistakes while we were still there for them so that they could lean on us when they made mistakes. And he wanted to be more strict. So that's the one thing about the masculine and feminine roles that I got to see up close and personal, why that's there, why that friction is there, because that balance took effect because I was one way and my husband was the other way. So through both of us, they got somewhat of a balance. Did it work out perfectly? Nope. But I don't think it ever works out perfectly. You do the best you can, obviously. And then there you go. Sounds like you're reading from my book. Aha! I say this to you. You will not best yourself up. Oh, beat yourself up. I bet. Haha, it did. Sorry, the clinician is coming out. That's okay. It makes you strong. Yes, never got to do much as a child. I feel like I missed out. Add issues, socializing, and what a mess. But I did feel safe and secure for the most part. Teenage years were a little different, though. Gotcha. Whose does? Yep. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Whew, sorry, 45 minutes. Here we go. My dad was Army. Ooh, luckily my mom was less strict. It worked. See? That's that give and take, that push and pull for sure. All right, where are we? Was that 6, I think? And we have 24 to get through. Oh, boy. We might have to split this one up into 2 nights, guys. Childhood. Oh, whose childhood was perfect? Yeah, nobody's, for sure. Absolutely. But again, you always beat yourself up some because there's always that, what if I had been more strict with this one? What if I had... You can't, though. You can't beat yourself. You do the best you can with what you have. And hopefully someday your children will forgive you for not being perfect. 7, culture. We're still down in the roots. So I'm thinking, guys, we may get about halfway tonight, and then we'll have to do the other half tomorrow, okay? What aspect of my cultural conditioning might I benefit from taking into consideration? My cultural conditioning. Ooh, this is a good one. What a really deep question. Wow, that flew out. All right. Authority, the emperor, or lack thereof, right? So cultural conditioning for me was the lack of authority. So what do I need to benefit from taking into consideration about that? All right, here's where my oracle cards come in, because I'm not really sure. Let me pull a clarifying card. God speaks. So again, this is the masculine, and the masculine authority there. And I'm sure in shadow work, I'm sure that I have masculine issues that I do need to pull out and look at. Because the masculine person in my home was my father, who was not that authoritative figure, was not the set the rules kind of person. So there was no authority figure in my home. So what do I need to pull up about that? There's something in there that I might benefit from looking at, for sure. I'm certain of that. So that's a good one. That's one that I need to circle, to really go back to and say, okay, what is it that is coming up here that I haven't really paid attention to that would help me in my shadow work to deepen my shadow work. All right. Don't inhale your own spit. Okay. Let's try that again. All right. Whoops, I circled the wrong one. 7, culture. That's what. All right. Here we go. So number 8 is religion. And we are still down here in our roots. I thought I was the only one who chokes on their own saliva. Nope, I do it all the time. I'm terrible. In our family, the women always laid down the law and the men stayed out of their way. I can see that, Jessica. As a matter of fact, it's funny. I can see that in my own family, in my grandparents level. My grandmother, she was the authority figure. She was the lay down the rule. She carried a wooden spoon and used it when she had to. She was not a mean person. I loved my grandmother to death, but she grew up in the Depression. She was very tough. She, my mother tells a story. My mother, who I know I've talked about before, tells a story of being in this back bedroom, and it used to be there was a fire escape that went down. Kay, how are you? How are your children? Let me just finish my story while I'm thinking of it. My mother was sneaking up the fire escape to come into the house, and my grandmother was waiting in the dark with a baseball bat. My grandmother was the authority figure, for sure. So that kind of patriarchal authority did not always happen in the past either. There was, even way back in the Depression era stuff, there was lots of women who were authority. Okay, we have all been talking about you and thinking about you, honey. This altar that is behind me that you can see, the 2 candles there, they are all for your son and daughter-in-law. And we have sent healing energy. There's stones there. There's herbs and oils, anointed with oils and Reiki stones. And we have been sending it healing energy tonight. So I hope that things are looking up for your son and daughter-in-law, because we have been thinking about them tonight. And we'll continue to do so. Those candles back there are 3-day candles. So they will be lit for a couple days. And we have encouraged everyone out there to send the energy throughout the day, so that hopefully that will you know, yep, we are with you for sure. I've been thinking about you a lot today. Journaling is sometimes difficult for me. Sometimes it just flows. Other times I just get stuck. Absolutely, Artsy. And I think it's that way for everyone. I think sometimes journaling, boy, you're right in there. And it's really easy. And there's something on the surface that you really, whew, yeah, I need to work this out. And other times I think you just have to start writing. And sometimes I'll be like, wow, I have nothing to say about this. All right, I'm going to start writing what I know about this subject. And then as I get through, suddenly it hits something that I'm like, oh, this is why I had to bring this up. Because blah, 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 this. So, you know, just start writing. Sometimes, too, has anybody had any experience with automatic writing? Sometimes automatic writing is a good way to do stuff, too. Sometimes I will put some music on and not at all be thinking about what I'm writing and let my hand go. And spirit can come through. Your guardians can come through that way. And something can come through that sometimes you have no idea was even out there for you to be thinking about, but comes right through. And that's a good way to kind of get yourself going too. You guys have made me cry, so I appreciate it. CK, great. It's weird. It's like you're not even writing. Yes, Kendra, I love automatic writing. Okay, we really have been thinking about you. I've been worried about you, and I was kind of worried you weren't on tonight, so I'm glad you at least stopped in. And I really, how is everything? Please share if you want to. I felt a lot of healing energy on my heart for your people today in general. So I hope that they have felt that a little and are starting to get on the mend, because we're definitely thinking about you. Yes, yes, yes. I have the torch now and have learned a lot. Yay, good. Good, good, good. Oh, what a neat idea. Absolutely. And we'll talk about that if you want. I'll try to, somewhere in one of my automatic writing, I'm going to write it right on the back of this. I'll try to incorporate that into a video soon, okay? Automatic writing, because that's a great tool. It's a great tool for spirit work. It's a great tool for journaling. It's a great tool for a lot of things that you can just pick that up, and stuff comes through that needs to come through that you're maybe not thinking. So that's good. Okay. Where are we? Shit. How many people are down here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 8. Here we go. 8. Yep. Okay. Religion. What aspect of my religious background might I benefit from taking into consideration? Well, this should be interesting. Thank you for the hug. Samantha is on the list to go to another hospital to learn to walk again. Her surgeons won't release her, though, until her stats are stable. Absolutely. Absolutely, I get that. And those rehabilitation hospitals are wonderful. So, once she gets to that stage, she's in very good hands, because they are great. And we're back. Good. Good. They are very specifically made to help rehabilitate. So once she's good enough to go there, then things are really on the upswing. So good. That will be lit for at least 2 days. It's usually a 3-day candle. It depends. Sometimes now, if it burns out before 3 days is up, that means that it worked a lot and that it needed a lot of that energy. That healing energy really took it out of those. So, good. We are definitely sending you hugs and love, honey. She'll be running in no time. That's right. Those rehab hospitals are awesome. Okay, religion. So this, again, this should be interesting. I have been a lot of different religions. I have tried almost every Christian religion out there, probably. Can you light a candle for Michael Rosato to get a job? I sure can. Absolutely. I will, if you don't mind, I will add that to my prosperity altar downstairs, because that, to me, goes along with prosperity. So I will light another candle for that. Good, good, good. All right. Religion. What aspect of religion? Well, I'll tell you in a second how I see this. This is the world. All right, so what does the world mean? It means completion. It means things are coming to a close. It means that, to me, this means I am on the path that I'm supposed to be on, finally. How to safeguard everything. I hear you, Nicole, and that's okay. And if you're worried about that, then please make sure that you blow your candles out. And actually, let me rephrase that. Don't blow your candles out. Use a candle snuffer or a little cup or something. If you, unless you're trying to banish energy away, you shouldn't blow candles out. You should, yep, you can put them in a big pot for sure. I have a shelf that's up pretty high that I know my cat cannot go into because it's a narrow shelf. So I bring the burning candle with me and put it up on my high shelf. But you should not blow candles out because you're blowing the energy away. If you stuff the candle, then it just pauses that energy. So then when you wake up in the morning, if you don't feel comfortable leaving them lit, just snuff. Then when you wake up in the morning, you light it again, and that energy continues from where it left off. Okay, the world card in relation to religion. That, again, to me, that really tells me that all of my searching, I did do a lot of different searching. I burn incense a lot too. Absolutely, me too. Nicole, I use tea lights in jars and sniff with the lid from the jar. Yep, absolutely. That's a great idea, Pepper, for sure, because it just takes that oxygen away. I did a whole bunch of searching. I went through evangelical Christianity. I went through Catholicism. I went through Protestant. I went through Episcopalian. I went to all kinds of different churches, Christian churches anyways. And then I started studying Buddhism, and that kind of was in the same vein as the paganism. And then once I found paganism, it was like, yes, I can incorporate everything that I want to incorporate right in here, and it's all in one tent, one big tent for me. So to me, that is like the completion of the religion thing. Yes, it is a lot of religion. Although I will tell you, I was not an evangelical Christian for very long. I think that lasted about 2 months. The church that I was going to is, it seems like it was a famous church because he was on the radio all the time. It was a Maranatha church. And they had, I'll tell you a quick story. Oh my gosh, we're an hour. Sorry, guys. I run my mouth so much. It was a huge church, and my oldest boys were little. They were about 3 and 4, I think. And they ran a daycare in the church. And they had it separated by ages. So they had like 0 to 2, and then 3 to 6, and then 7 to whatever, blah blah blah. And so I was like, oh, this is great. I can listen to the service and not, have to be interrupted with the kids and worry about if they're crying or if they're, fiddling or whatever. And they teach. And the whole thing was they teach the lesson that you're learning too, so that you can talk about it afterwards. So I go in, I had to be maybe my third or fourth Sunday there. And the lesson was pretty much fire and brimstone, kind of all these people are going to hell and this is why. And I was not real keen on it. And I thought, oh, damn, I really kind of liked the people are enthusiastic and I'm an enthusiastic person and thought, oh, this is really nice. But as soon as people start judging everyone, I'm out. I just don't like it. But I thought, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to give them a chance. So I go to pick my kids up and I wish I had kept it. I so wish I had kept it. They have coloring book pages that they have colored that, and I don't remember the verse right now, of course, but it says, all these kind of people are going to hell. And it showed the line to hell that they had 3 and 4-year-olds color. And there was a woman with a pro-choice t-shirt on. And the Pope, because, you know, Catholics are all going to hell too. And rock music, something about rock music. And all these people that they had coloring their line to hell. And then fire going in. So they were walking into the fiery pits of hell. At 3 and 4. I was, 4 children. I was completely blown away. And I thought, are you effing kidding me? So I grabbed the papers. I grabbed my 2 boys. I walk over to the huge minister. Now I have to tell you, he is huge in our area. He's on the radio all the time. I don't know if it's a national program or not. I have no idea. But he's on the radio all the time. He, you know, is hot shit around here. So I go up to him and I said, can I talk to you? And he, oh yeah, sure. So here I'm thinking he doesn't know that they're giving these to 3 and 4-year-olds. There's no way. He can't know that because nobody would think that, right? How disgusting. Why would they make children do that? Thank you. I know, right? Major abusive to do that to children. Absolutely. I'm thinking he doesn't know this. So I said, do you know what they're passing out in your 3 and 4-year-old class? And he goes, well, it has to do with the study that we did. And I said, yeah, it sure does. But I would think it would be kind of age appropriate. And he goes, well, what do you mean? So I show him the picture. I'm like, really? This is age appropriate? 3 and 4-year-olds coloring people going to hell for pro-choice and whatever, the Pope. And he's like, well, you have to learn early. And I literally, this is what I did. I'm standing there. I think I had one in my hand and one I'm dragging along in the hand. And I looked at him and I said, are you kidding? And he said, no, you have to teach them early. They have to know. Otherwise, how are they going to know to not go down that road? And I said, you are fucking crazy. And I turned around and walked out. I said, you will not be seeing us again. Bye-bye. Yep, I did. Because absolutely fucking not. And that was the end of my journey in evangelicalism. That is brainwashing children. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Wackadoodle. Mm-hmm. So I never saw him again. I should have kept, I don't know what I did. I think I threw the papers at him because I thought, what the fuck is your problem? But hi, Heidi. Glad you're here. Yeah, it was totally screwed up. I honestly, I think I threw the papers at him, but I really wish now that I had kept them because I would have loved to say, look at this shit. This is what you're teaching people. Yep. Good for you. That's the best thing you could have done for your boys. Yep. Think that most people are taught like that until they start on their own, which is a shame. Absolutely. I would have ripped them up. Absolutely. I know. I just was in total shock and awe. At 3 and 4, I kept thinking, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that they're giving these out. Nope, he knew. Okay. You know, things really shouldn't surprise me anymore. I know it. I made it again, although I see you're about done. I know, Grandma, I'm sorry. Been listening, some crazy people out there. Yes, that's true. Absolutely. So what number are we on? I wanted to make it at least halfway. Okay. So that was religion. So I think as far as religion goes, I don't think I have a whole lot of work to do religion-wise. I am where I need to be. We are going to 9, society, which is still down here in the roots. So, society. What aspect of my societal influence might I benefit from taking into consideration? Well, this one will be interesting too. I decided to frame the tarot cloth you made for me. Oh, Heidi, that's right. I have to tell you. Oh my gosh, girl. That tarot cloth that you just posted with the Scully on it and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. Is there a buffalo on there on top of the fact that you have Scullies on it? I think there's a buffalo and a dolphin. And I'm like, what is she like trying to make me get this? What the hell? I think, oh, there is. Oh, you're killing me, girl. PM me afterwards how much you want to charge, and I will see. Somehow I feel like that is supposed to be mine, and somehow I'll figure out, the universe is going to figure out how it's going to happen, because you couldn't have like made it for me any better with, you know, the dolphin project that I post on my Facebook wall all the time, because I'm really sick of the Japanese people, hunting the dolphins and stealing the dolphins from the wild and killing them. And then buffalo, because hello, Buffalo Bills, and I'm right near Buffalo. And then the Scullies, which I, post to my wall every week. And I'm like, Heidi, you are like, ah! So I'm going to have to try to figure it out. Yep. And sharks, that too. I know it's horrible. Drives me nuts. And dolphin season is still here. Kills me. I just go where the messages take me. Well, boy, did you, girl. I thought, she's just killing me. So I'm going to try to figure it out. So message me with how much you want to charge, and I will have to see if I can work it out. All right. Where the hell was I? I totally lost my place. I am societal influence. It just dawned on me that I'm a wrench. Was that done for chit chat with me last night? Oh, yes, it was, Kay. Something, we did that because a link. You were going to post a link, or I was something. I can't remember. If you don't want to be, I can take you off. But, you're okay. It's not a huge responsibility thing. If you see a troll, kick them out, whatever. Society. Oh, see, now I'm trying to see it without my glasses. That is not how I read that. Oh, that's not how you read that? I have to admit, I did read that I'm a wench too. At first. She was trying to post her favor, and we thought it might help to, yes. Thank you, Angela. Look at that. You are awesome, Angela. You are like the perfect moderator here, because that is just awesome. Because now you're my memory too. I love it. Okay, society. What aspect of my societal influence might I benefit from taking into consideration? So we are talking the 7 of coins. This is the first coin that has come up so far in my reading. So the 7 of coins is really about cultivation, right? Cultivating that the growth. If I'm your memory, Jen, you're screwed. Hey, you've done pretty good so far, Angela. That's not the first thing that you've remembered for me. Cultivation, cultivating the influence that you're trying to have. So I'm trying to think here. That has to do with culture. So what aspect of my cultural conditioning? Perseverance. I'm going to pull an oracle card, I think. What you're doing. Oh, yeah, that's true. For sure. But shadow work. It has to do with shadow work. Is there something I'm not doing? Maybe by doing this, I'm ignoring some of my own shadow work. A gift. So you're right. It does have to do with what we're doing right now. And I do see it as a gift, as a, helping. To me, though, it's a gift for me too. Because I have to say, when I do this stuff, I enjoy it, and I do it because I feel like when we are building each other up and we're teaching each other and we are rebuilding and joining connections that we wouldn't have had otherwise, to me, that is the collective consciousness. We're raising the collective consciousness, which is what I want to do. My goal in life is to to help everyone to raise their consciousness to a level that, is more loving, more giving, more connected to each other, more aware, more connected. We're all benefiting, supporting, joining together. Exactly. And so to me, it is a gift, but it's a gift that I'm receiving from too. Because if you don't think that I learn from this, you're crazy. I learn a ton every night, every time we come on. I learn from talking to you guys. I learn from what you say back to me. I learn from sometimes something that I say that I think, oh, this will be really, enlightening, and it falls short, or it's, I got to say it a little different. I got to, whatever. So that is, and then you guys are teaching me all over the place. Wow, Jessica, frame it. That is amazing. Jessica, what did I miss? Frame what? Oh, your thing. Okay, got it. I'm good. I'm caught up. We're good. Okay, so that's good. I think shadow work wise, that again tells me that's not a piece that I have to work on a whole lot. I think that, I'm kind of there. Number 10, experiences. Now, number 10 is the last root here. Whoops. Is the last root. And then we're building upwards. So number 10, experiences. What past experiences have I repressed, glorified, or otherwise need to thoroughly process? Woo! This is a scary one. What's past experiences? You're behind. That's okay. No big deal. It's just all parts of the same root. Whoops. I keep dropping cards, and I think I'm going to say this is not a jumper. This is... Well, I don't know. Should I say this is not a jumper? Maybe this is the Five of Swords. So conflict. So past experiences that I'm repressing. Again, conflict. That's absolutely... I try. I don't always, okay? Sometimes they're going a little faster, but I do try for sure. Heidi, I'm thinking about the Hermit Lantern one too. Yes, that was a good one too, for sure. So past experiences, conflicts. And again, like I said, I think one of the reasons that I can't remember a lot of my childhood is because conflicts happened in my young childhood. And I'm trying to remember. I know where I was living. I don't know when we moved from there. I had to be like 7 or 8. And I knew you were going to pull a big card there. It's funny because another one fell and I thought, oh, maybe I'm just being klutzy. But as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, maybe that did just jump out because I'm supposed to know it. So that is something that I probably need to, let's try that again. Give it a second. Hopefully you all, are back with me. I hate my internet. Yes. So conflict, that is something that I, in shadow, have to obviously start pulling out and looking at. Not something that I have done a whole lot because I feel like, I don't remember most of my childhood, so what? But good. Thank you, Jack. I would appreciate it. I'd love to see other people's. But obviously, that is something that I need to pull out. So I will do that. Ego. Okay, so now we are starting up the tree. So we're right in the middle here, number 11. We are starting to build up that trunk of the tree, and ego is a big one. What quality of my self-image might I benefit from evaluating? So of my self-image, what quality might I benefit? We're all done with the roots, and we're coming back up here. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Huh. What quality? So like exuberant spirit. That is an odd card to come up in that position. Internet blurb. Let me read this again. What quality of my self-image? Sorry, guys. Oh, I'm telling you. After an hour, my stuff starts to go, woo! I'm going to pull an oracle card with this one too, because that's a tough one. Wands is about your creative energy, your creative fire. The Queen is the ultimate of that energy. So I don't know why that would be in shadow. Hi, Brittany. Glad you could be here. What of my ego? What quality of my self-image might I benefit from evaluating? That exuberance, that creative spirit, that creative fire. Trust. Okay, so the ultimate creative energy and spirit. I hope that's not saying what I think it's saying, because I can't do that. So I will tell you that in a lot of my spreads, the universe has been trying to tell me for quite some time that it is time for me to do this, to do my spiritual work that I know is my life calling, to do that full time. I can't do that though. I keep going, okay, great. Well, then have me win the lottery or something. I have bills to pay. And as an adult, I can't just drop my real job, my quote unquote real job, to do this. I would love to do that, but I can't do that. I have, bills and a real job. I know, Kendra. I know I was thinking that. And financially, I am not in the position to do that yet. Could I start one out of my house? Kind of. Exactly. I have it, Dustin. I have my prosperity altar all set up. So I really, and it's funny, Spirit does this to me a whole lot. A whole lot. Okay, past childhood is important. I remember kindergarten up to grade 3. I have absolutely no memory from grades 4 through 6. I remember all after that. Yep. I have same kind of issues, okay? I think I know what mine is. I was saying earlier, my father got arrested and there was a big thing, but, I obviously need to bring that up more. So I hear you. There are things I would love to do, but I need an income. It's very difficult. That trust comes up. Funny that Queen of Wands comes up saying creative energy, and comes up with ego. So I'm like, what? I don't have an ego about that. But what it's maybe saying is I need more of an ego. I need to trust that the universe knows what it's doing and step off that ledge. That is not an easy thing to do when you are an adult and you have responsibilities and bills that have to be paid, though. So, that's something in shadow work that I will have to work on. But it's probably been 2 years that this stuff has come up for me a lot. In almost every spread that I do, it comes up for me again and again. And it's like, okay, you're supposed to do this. Why aren't you doing this? And I'm like, I have bills. I get it though. I went to college for herbal health sciences and don't use it because people can't afford it because we can't run it through insurance yet. Yep, absolutely, Kendra, for sure. Yes, take time to take on fostering spiritual creativity in others. Yep. I think this will be my shadow work. A bit worried about it though. Oh, I hear you, Kay. I know, honey. Happy Samhain and happy Halloween. Yep, you too. Maybe your spirituality is a part-time job. Trust that you will find a way. You have helped so many already. Thank you. Thank you. And, it is getting there. I do have my Patreon, which I don't talk about a lot. And this is why, then I suddenly see I shrink down and I'm like, oh, here's this money stuff. If you guys enjoy what I do and you would like to support me even a little, I will say this, even $1 a month. If you go onto my Patreon, there is a pledge of $1 a month. And if all of my subscribers did $1 a month, that would allow me to quit my job. So don't think that, I don't want to just support her at $1 a month, or that would be a huge thing to me. It's a huge thing. So if you can, I'm not saying that all of you can. Some of you cannot, and I totally understand that. But if you can, even if you can do $1 a month, that's a big deal to me. And I so appreciate all of my supporters. So if you do want to do that, I always post my Patreon link underneath. I don't talk about it very much because I feel a little funny, pushing that. But when these kind of cards come up, I start to think, okay, maybe it's saying that I do need to step off that ledge. And in order to step off that ledge, I am, getting a little, but I do need to get a little bit more, I think, and then maybe I will feel comfortable to actually do that. So I would appreciate it if you can. If you cannot, do not feel bad, because I certainly know what it's like to be totally freaking broke. I have been there most of my life with 4 boys. Once I get some income, I would gladly donate. I know, honey, it's okay. Like I said. Thank you, Brittany and Angela. And I do appreciate it. And I try not to feel funny about talking about it, but anytime it's, especially for spiritual work, for me, there's like this wall that comes up that I'm like, I don't know. Charging people to do this stuff though is, but I do too. And I support people on Patreon that I really enjoy. And, so I have to learn to step into my power a little more, but it is not an easy thing to do. Use that ego. I'd rather give you $1 a month than to buy some useless crap from the Dollar Tree. I don't know, Tina. There's some good stuff at the Dollar Tree sometimes. See the glasses? I got these at the Dollar Tree. Maybe that is what you're doing here with this group, stepping off that ledge. Yep, absolutely. And or forgo a cup of coffee at that coffee shop. Everybody's got to make a living. I know. It is just, it's just one of those things that it's not easy to be a salesman for yourself. And I know all of you know you have on those exact glasses. Woohoo! I love these. And I have the purple ones too. And I love them too. And now I can't find them anymore at any of the Dollar Trees. And I would buy extra pairs because I love them. But anyways, it is not easy to tout yourself, especially for money. That's kind of, like whoring yourself out. But I know. And then, I have to say, then I step into my spiritual power though. And I'm like, yeah, I know I help a lot of people. I know I'm good at this. I know that this is my calling. I totally know all that. But the line is then you like ask to be supported for it. It feels funny, but I'm trying. I'm getting better. I just brought it up. So there you go. I'm getting better. There we go. Okay. Is that 12? Are we on 12 yet? No, one more fear. Look at that. If we can support you and you can quit your job, then we gain even more of your knowledge and gifts. It's definitely a win for us too. Yes, that's true. Absolutely. Then I would have even more on and have the time to do even more. I can't tell you. I have These steno notebooks. Hold on, I'll show you my collection of steno notebooks that I have. These are filled with ideas that I have to do videos. I literally have that much. I have a lot of ideas, but I don't have the time to do them all. But, you know, I'm working my way through. So that's good. You provide us with new things every day, so don't feel bad. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, guys. Really. I appreciate that. So, and it's funny that this is fear. Now, what happened to that paper? Here it is. Then the last one we're going to go through tonight, because we're already an hour and a half almost, is fear. Number 12, what fears might I benefit from considering? I will support you. I can forego my pound of chocolate for a week. Thank you. Hi, Spiritual Splendor. Thanks for coming. The last one we're going to do tonight is kind of the first branch off of here is fear. So it's funny that we're talking about, you know, standing in your power and all that stuff. And the last thing we're going to go over tonight is fear. Isn't that funny how the universe does that? All right. Okay, I totally get this one. 6 of Cups. So the 6 of Cups tells us to look at stuff from a child's point of view with innocent eyes, which is, you know, sometimes that fear of saying, will you support me? All that kind of stuff it comes from an adult jaded point of view, where sometimes you feel like people are trying to get money from you all the time. And if you look at it from a child's eyes, it's less jaded. It is more innocent. It's looking at it from an innocent point of view. The fear is, I'm asking for money for spiritual kind of services. The childlike point of view is, I spend a lot of time, you know, in my videos. I research a ton. I'm reading spiritual books all the time. I need new internet. I'm constantly engaging in activities that will help me to learn more, to teach more. So through a child's eyes, you know, a teacher deserves to be paid for her services. That's hard to accept as a spiritual coach or teacher or whatever you want to call me. That is a hard thing to accept, but I definitely get it. Good night, Kendra. Thanks for coming. So that is a good way to look at this stepping off the cliff here, walking off the edge, and to look at it through that innocent child eyes of, you know, I know that this is my calling. I know that I have taken years of my life to research everything that I have been a sponge for years. Since I started this path, I have been a sponge. And I know that I have a gift and an ability to try to pass that on to other people. And so that's okay. And I have to be okay with that too. Random note, does anyone else get really warm when they do spiritual stuff? Hello? Do you see my face? Jack, you have to see, this is normal. I don't know how many videos you've watched of mine, but especially live because there's a lot of connections going on. Hi, Jennifer. I'm glad you made it. We're just kind of wrapping up. We've been on for an hour and a half. I'm sorry. But I do. Absolutely, Jack. Every time see this red, whoo, this is what happens to me because that energy flow goes back and forth. And I start getting really red. Usually I have the window open and the fan on in front of me, so I'm not quite so bad. But absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Jessica, I'm the opposite. I go into shock and get cold every time I do a reading. No kidding. No kidding. That is, and again, how often have I said this in my videos? Everybody's energy reacts differently to energy. my energy is not going to react the same as your energy, which is why I encourage everyone to experiment and figure out what works for you. Because if it works for you, it works. I just give as many suggestions as I can of what works for me to give you ideas to try. And then your job then is to take all that information and try it yourself and see what happens for you. Yay! My body tingles. Both have to do with the energy coming and going, I think. Absolutely. Absolutely. For me, that energy comes in and races around, and this is what happens. So, all right, guys. Yay. So we have the whole second half that we'll go over. My brother, I don't know when my brother's coming. I will post on the wall if it'll be tomorrow night. It might be Thursday night because he's taking my son to a hockey game Thursday night. So if my brother is here early and, it's around the time that we normally go live, I may postpone it till Thursday. Actually, why don't I do that ahead of time so everybody knows? Tomorrow, I'm going to take tomorrow off, hang out with my brother, hopefully who will be here. And then Thursday, we will finish the second half of this spread. In the meantime, feel free to go through this spread. Post it if you want to, or post some of your experiences if you have a couple of the questions that really jump out and you want to. I will go on, Laura, and accept you when I get done with this, absolutely. Feel free to post your experiences on there, 1 or 2 questions if you want to. Otherwise, we will finish up the second half of it on Thursday night, okay? Absolutely. Please do a VR. That would be great. I would love for you to do a VR. I would post it under, let's do hashtag Tree of Life. Okay? Yay. Sounds good. Good night, everyone. What about the naming the witch video post on the Facebook? Curious about that. Naming the witch video. Oh, yes. I will get that up there, little dandelion. Absolutely. I know I have to name her. That has to be next. I will. It'll be up. Oh, I have a half day tomorrow, so it'll go up tomorrow. Okay? Promise. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll finish up the second half on Thursday. Have a good night and a good tomorrow.